Hi, my name is Orlando Ramirez, and today I'll be talking about a father's involvement and education level affects a child's success in life. According to the National Fatherhood Initiative, um, there is about 24 million children in America today, which is about 1 in 3 that don't live with their biological fathers. About 9 in 10 parents agree that this is a crisis. The reason being that this is a crisis is because the father is not a part of the family or is in limited contact with the family, which leaves mainly the mother to take care of the kids without a strong male role or presence there. And with that, it creates an unstable environment, which can lead to the children, acting out in school, being in trouble more, not really caring about education just because their father isn't there. What we saw was that a father's involvement is very crucial and important. And I had interviewed a couple people over this topic for one of my papers that I've written about. And there is a comment or a quote that was by Jason Schaefer, who was one of my participants. And he basically said that, without the father being there, there's no like guidance for any of the other children. Um, the father's role is mainly to guide the children to doing the right things and not to act out and to want to better themselves and try to do more for themselves. Um, so without the father there, it leads to acting out, maybe doing drugs in some cases. A lot of times, the parents are there or the dad's there to teach the kid like about sex education. And if he doesn't really get that talk about it, then the kid can go and get a girl pregnant and then not know what to do because he just wanted to do something, and with the father there, he'll teach them right from wrong and show them, like what you need to do as you grow up, the responsibilities you need to take upon yourself to do things. And from the graph, from here, you can see that from 1972, there was a lot of people or a lot of fathers that didn't have a lot of education. And it seems like there was a lot who didn't graduate from high school too much, or they barely graduated. And not a lot of people, as you can see in this top two, went to get their bachelor's degree or to get their doctor's degree or, graduate school. Um, but as you see, as the years progress into the 1980s, into the 1990s, and then now into the 2000s, the number of people that graduated without a high school degree is starting to become smaller and smaller and smaller. And, the yellow part right here, which is the high school degree, um, you can see that fathers are starting to at least finish high school to show their kids like you need a high school education to get a job. But now in the 2000s and now in the 2010s, 2010s, up into the 2020s, you're going to start seeing a lot of people going for their bachelor's degrees, and then people that probably graduated college already are going back for their master's or their doctorate's degree in some cases, and which more education leads to a higher pay income, which can lead to a better life. And if children see their fathers, going to high school, finishing high school, and then applying themselves into college, or like they see that their, father graduated from college, then that kid is more likely to go to college because the father is going to be there to push them to go to high school and then from high school to graduate and go into college and try to get a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree, technical degree in some sort, and try to make a living and a career out of those degrees. There was a journal um, journal article that was published the by the Social Science Review of Christina J. Diaz's article, which is Social Mobility in the Context of Fathering, the Intergenerational Link in Parenting Among Co-Resident Fathers. What she was talking about in the journal was about how a father and his own experience with his own father, and how that affects what the father teaches to his son, or to his children, I should say, and how a kid's success is based on the father's involvement and education. And what she found was that on average, fathers who display more warmth and affection have closer relationships with their children, which are associated with a reduced risk of psychological distress or cognitive delays among offspring. These characteristics are linked to school performance and completion, as well as labor market success. The advantages of having an involved father also extend beyond childhood. Adult children with such fathers exhibit higher levels of education attainment and economic achievement. Thus, actively involved fathers appear to support the acclimation of human and economic capital in their children, even as they mature into adulthood. What she was basically saying was that, if a father's really involved in their child's life, and, the father has gone to school and, at least with a high school degree, and or maybe a bachelor's degree, they're going to, if the father's involved and he's going to push their kids, to better themselves, to be better than he was when he was graduating, high school and college, and want them to be more than what he is now. I can tell you, for myself, my father is from Mexico, and he didn't, get a lot of education. He didn't pass elementary school, which, back then probably wasn't a big deal, because he was born in the 1950s. So, like in the 1960s, 1970s, from the graph that we saw, a lot of people weren't even graduating high school as much. So, me being 22 right now, and graduating college soon, it shows like how, sometimes, there are some cases where a father is not really involved in the child's life, and the child wants to be better. But my dad wasn't there for me, and he wasn't really involved in my schooling. But I tried to better myself, and wanted to finish with a degree, and I'm proud to say that I'm almost there. But it's really crucial for a father to be involved in the child's life. So in conclusion, I agree that a father's involvement and in a child's life really depends on like the education level of the father. If you see I know there might be some cases where a father didn't get that much schooling, and they're really proud to be a parent and want to be there for the kids, which is good because they need to push their kids to be in a better spot than their fathers were and the way their parents were, in the time. Like I said, with my own self, with my own experience, like my father, he doesn't get that much of a paycheck, but I'm trying to better myself and be better than he was, and I am going to be a father soon in September, so I feel like it's, my duty as a father, to guide my children and to guide my child to want to better themselves, teach them right from wrong, and try to get them to attain, not just a high school diploma and probably not just a bachelor's degree, but, to, get a master's or become a doctorate in something, and really want to, be educated and be able to provide for their, his own children. So, um, I would have to agree that the father's involvement in education does have a major impact on the child. And if that child is pushed enough and he has that support system around him, then there's nothing that that child can do. Thank you for your time.